So it's another one of these inner like the outer like the inner sort of situations. Uh, were you going to distribute these vaccines through houses of worship? A deal of how these terrorist attacks get effectuated is through leveraging taxes and using electronic warfare associated with radio frequency modulations that are different in houses of worship than they are outside of houses of worship. The bandwidth at a church, at least in the United States, or even a synagogue, or even the few times I've been anywhere near a Muslim holy site in the United States since I returned in 2015 and had consciousness of these things. The bandwidth at a site that is identified as a site available for the kind of tax status associated with a nonprofit that qualifies as a religious institution is different than it is in any other place, including commercial establishments, including places that are zoned for provision of medical services, including those that are identifiably connected to a for profit medical institution versus a public health institution. They're zoned differently, and the bandwidth is different, and your tax incentivization is different. And providing services in a house of worship that has that tax service, that has that tax status, allows for another form of harvesting of human beings. So literally, we become cows. And that religious institution gets to put its brand. So who gets to be considered the beneficiaries of the herd? I've been watching this in Texas for 3 years. This is how you developed COVID-19. This is how you created these weapons. And this is how you got your buy-in from across the aisle. Make no mistake about that. This criminal conspiracy involves people of multiple affiliations. The major contestation politically, the major political wrangling is over market share. You don't want your cows doing certain things, and they don't want their cows doing certain things. That's what this is about. You know what this is? It's a violation of the 13th Amendment. It's slavery. You're using terrorism to try to compel people into slavery. Now, as I identified yesterday, I think what is actually relevant at this time is a comparative analysis of states that have anti-BDS laws and states that have taken recent efforts to legalize or normalize marijuana. There is something very telling about political prioritizations that attempt to make it a crime or prohibit people from being able to use their right to boycott or sanction a country that it has determined is in violation of human rights standards as well as constitutional process, both federally and on a state level. And also to normalize or legalize marijuana as a substitute for other forms of political process. You want your cows high so they don't protest and complain. And if they are going to protest, you want to make sure that you have that nice carrot to lure them with, so that they're only on the street for a certain amount of time and that they have leverage that they didn't have before, right? How many of you are working on securities you've been flipping since the days of mechanics liens for the same damn coding? You see what I'm saying? Until we get honest about actually verifying and deduplicating in a manner that is in itself a form of weaponization, i.e., authenticating and verifying, then this is not going to abide. Just so you know, I already contacted the vaccine adverse event reporting system and requested from them information they were legally at the time required to provide me with. We are over 2 years, going on 3 years since they refused to respond. What kind of default do you think that would provide? You've got a lot of things pinging that date right now. You know that? A lot of things are pinging that date specifically right now. Are you telling me that you are going to refuse to heed this warning? Are you going to make me use my own nuclear option? You have plenty of time to comport yourself appropriately.